Hi everyone, I'm really pleased to be joined by Erica Brain at RFK Kitchens for our next edition of Movers and Shakers. I'm sure you'll agree she's got plenty of great advice for any kitchen designer in our industry. So Erica, rugby, what's rugby known for?
Rugby's known for rugby football.
Okay, obvious
yes,
answer
obviously,
to the question.
William Webb Ellis picked up the ball, and it was in 1823, because I've done my
Done your research, yeah.
Yeah, he picked up the ball,
Okay.
and Rugby is a busy market town.
Okay.
It's expanding, the population's growing all the time.
And myself very much into narrowboats. I understand there's a beautiful canal run through Rugby as well.
Yes, there's loads of lovely canal routes, lovely walks.
Canal side pubs.
Yes, yes.
A few of those
now they're open.
Now they're open.
Yes,
That's
but
it,
you
yeah.
can still sit in the garden and enjoy your meal.
That's it. Lovely. So we'd like to understand how somebody who is thinking about going into kitchen and bathroom design would get into the industry. So can you offer any advice?
Well, I think primarily you need to get yourself out there.
Okay.
Go to independent studios. They might want somebody on a Saturday just to do customer services, that kind of thing. You need to get yourself known.
Okay.
If you're willing to work really hard and you're good with customers, they'll grasp onto that, and they'll might even give you one-to-one training.
Yeah.
You could go to one of the big companies who do, I know, offer training.
Yeah.
You've just got to get yourself out there.
So what sort of education do you think that an independent retailer would like to understand they've been involved with before coming for that conversation?
I would have thought some form of interior design, degree work.
Yeah.
But if you're really practical and you can lend your hand and you're willing to learn, I think you could start at grassroots and work your way up. You've got to be practical, you've got to be willing to really get down and listen to people and be...
So on that journey of exploration, what comes first, the sales element or the design element, do you think?
I think the design element, I think, you've got to be a good designer. You've got to know, you've got to be able to think in 3D as well.
Yes.
A lot of people, maybe graphic designers, 2D, might not be able to think corners, drawers, and all that
colours
sort of
and textures as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you've got to be really good with people. You've got to be able to get what they want, you know, being a good listener.
Today, this is obviously a beautiful environment, plenty of kitchen displays to look at, and it's very light, very clean, by the way, the beautiful clean showroom. So what advice can you offer other showrooms to making a customer feel comfortable in a showroom environment? How can that shopping experience be better?
Well, when they first walk into the door, you've got to give them eye-to-eye contact and a lovely smile. Let them feel like they're wanted. There's nothing worse than glancing up. I'll deal with them in a moment.
I mean, they've got the head down and customer walks in.
You need to stop everything.
Right.
Welcome them in.
Okay.
Show them round.
What would you say then when a customer comes in?
I'll say, welcome to our showroom.
Right, nice.
Come in.
Yeah.
And can I help you today? Some people are only coming in for worktops, some people just come in for sinks. But, primarily we want them to come in to look at kitchen with a view to buying a brand new kitchen from us. Yeah.
So with any sales organisation, one must have differences when a customer comes in for a conversation. So what would you say RFK's differences are where the customer should buy from you as opposed to a competitor?
Well, I'd like to think that we see this kitchen project with them from beginning to end, and we handle that project so they don't need to worry. So
one person, point of contact.
One person. We project manage it. We sort out the installation team for them. We are their number one point of contact. Any worries, anything that they're a little bit upset about, we're there to handle it, and we will never let anybody have any disgruntled feelings about their kitchen. We will finish it right to the end. If their little thing like their bin doesn't fit under the sink, we won't. We go, oh well, you chose that bin, walk away.
No. It's almost, even if it's their selection process, it's not right, you'd almost say, look, we'll sort it so you're happy.
Really closely with our installation team, so I will allocate an installer and I'll work with him, I'll get his advice while I'm designing.
Yeah. All right. Are these subcontract installers?
They're subcontracted to us, but we've only got a handful of really good installers, and we work really closely with them, and I hold them in high esteem. I think they're brilliant. They're craftsmen in their own right. They're not just kitchen fitters and things like that.
And would they get involved in the survey potentially as well?
Yes, they'll go out and do a survey prior. If they're having a prep week and they're having things rip down.
Oh,
and all
okay,
that
so
sort
they
of
can't
thing.
complain afterwards, can they?
No, no.
Okay.
No.
They're involved in the process.
Yeah, they're involved in the process, and I like to consult them through the design process. Sometimes I'm thinking, is this panel going to, what am I going to do with this? I don't know everything. I'm learning all the time.
And
that's what you've got to remember.
And you would tell the customers this as well, to make them feel comfortable.
Yes,
that's the process. Yeah.
Because that is, it doesn't matter how we do supply a fantastic product. Our kitchen's brilliant.
Okay.
But if the fitting is shoddy, it's a rubbish product then. So it's the kitchen is as good as how it's been fitted.
Absolutely, yeah. So anything else you could think of that's
well,
that's
I like
USP,
to work
unique
very
selling
closely
point.
with somebody's budget. They don't always give you their budget exactly, but they like to think you're on their side and you're going to work with them with their budget. You're not, because they're a little bit nervous. Some people might, I'm going to a showroom, it looks really posh and all that sort of thing. I just want them to know that I can give them the kitchen of their dreams in their budget.
So, and how do you price condition? Do you show people previous projects? How would you?
I just a little bit up front say, have you got a budget in mind?
Right, okay.
Or I'll say, if you want solid quartz work surface, that could set you back £3,000, £4,000, £5,000.
Yeah.
So if you've got a £10,000 budget, you have to really think carefully of whether we can supply you the kitchen of your dreams.
Yeah, because I was always taught that in a kitchen environment to say, where else have you been? When do you want the project, and some kind of idea of budget, but some people find asking budget quite difficult.
Yeah, I try to sort of, I don't straight away, I don't want people to think that, I'm looking at them like, you can't afford a kitchen for us straight away. Sort of drop it in while I'm sort of talking and handing out brochures towards the end.
Yeah, you're just gauging the reactions,
It's a really important part, because
good.
it's really, people don't really like talking about money in this country. We don't like, I don't know, we're a little bit sort of shy of that kind of thing, whereas I'm learning more and more and getting more confident on that side myself, and I think it's important, otherwise it can come and bite you.
Yes.
You must know what they want to pay.
And is there any other advice you can offer where a customer comes in and you want them to buy from you rather than go elsewhere? I'm assuming they still get 2 quotations at least, customers?
Yeah, they do. I like to think that I listen really, really carefully to every element that they want, and I try the little things make the difference. They might, love green or something like that, really get under their skin and know everything that they want. And I've had people come back to me saying, you were a little bit more than the last people, but you listened. You gave me that bit that I wanted.
That's good advice.
That's really important. Listen, listen, listen.
So Erica, how many people work in the business in this branch?
In this building, we've got 6
designers.
People.
So what makes a good team, a good showroom team? How do you gel to give that customer a better experience?
Well, what's great, we're all very different. We've all got our strengths, and we collaborate together and we support each other. So when I do tell customers this, when you want a kitchen from me, it's not just me that's designing it. I'll have my boss looking over my shoulder and another designer, and then I'll all be saying, why are you doing it like that? Why don't you do it like that?
That's great advice, isn't it?
It's really
so
good
the old
to get
adage,
advice.
two heads are better than one, whatever.
Definitely. I really admire my superiors, because they've been here a lot longer than me. And I'm not frightened either to say to a customer, if they ask me a question, I'll say, I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to go and ask my director.
And if I was a customer, I think I would like that, because I know that I'm going to get more eyes on my project and more years of experience.
It's not a generic plan. I could sit there with them and go, bang, 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 there's another design, there's another design. Don't do it like that.
That's really good advice for other people, So customer comes in the showroom and you're talking and you're asking plenty of questions. What would you say most customers' frustrations are with their old kitchen?
It would be corner cabinets that they can't get into if they haven't had anything inserted into it, like a Le Mans unit that can come out so that they can get into corners.
Corner storage.
Corner storage. Storage completely, getting into the back of cupboards. So rather than have cupboards, I tend to fit drawers and
pull-outs as well, rather than just a cupboard door, perhaps.
Definitely. Storage, worktop space. They want more worktop.
They want worktop space.
Yeah, and they want to get things off the worktop, put into cabinets. So good storage solutions, drawers, so that they haven't got pots with spatulas and things in. People want minimalist living. They want to be able to have everything off their worktop.
So they don't want like toasters on the worktop, and they want to store appliances away somewhere.
Breakfast bars. they want to be able to get to their appliances easily, so they may have a slow cooker, they may have a food processor that's always in the back of the cupboard. People want to get to their appliances quickly. They may have a super duper food processor they don't necessarily want on the side all the time. They don't want it at the back of the cupboard because they never use it. They want to be able to open a lovely double larder unit, have a socket at the back, use it there and then shut it away.
Do people still buy the Tamber units that roll down?
Yeah, they're quite popular, they're neat and easy. A lot of people are liking the double opening larder units. I'm finding that's quite popular at the moment.
So sort of butler pantries and
butler pantries with careful storage for food. And they also want to be able to move around their kitchen easily and not playing books days.
Is the classic working triangle a thing of the past, Erica? Or is
not really, no. You've got to have a good working area. I think people want to create a kitchen that's a joy to be in, not a chore anymore, because
social area.
A social area, but people are becoming more accomplished chefs in their own homes. They're not wanting to just go in, throw something in the oven. They want some really good appliances that perform for them. So steam ovens.
Because that's a big conversation, because I guess with appliances, a lot of sales designers that I meet would say they would probably shy away from going into technical detail, because how do you learn everything? Or do you choose a favourite oven and understand that favourite oven?
Try to do that. There are a lot of ovens. That's where training at the different manufacturers is really, really good. I always say go to training. Really good advice, because you come away, you're buzzing, and the information's there. And I get really excited when I go to training.
Because knowledge is sales, isn't it? If the customer hears you know what you're talking about, they will buy from you.
They will, yes. The Neff appliances that we sell here almost sell themselves because they're brilliant, slide and hide and all that sort of thing. That gives them a wow factor because they can see it.
So if we talk colours and textures in the kitchen, so we're surrounded by, obviously we've got solid surface, we've got painted furniture here as well, we've got lovely colours on the walls here. So what is the current trend for colour in the kitchen, and in terms of materials and work surface, even to the wall colour? What are people going for now in the kitchen?
I'm having a lot of interest in green at the moment.
Green?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It's a bit of Shakin' Stevens with the green door.
Okay.
No, sorry. Green doors are very popular, but also people are looking for longevity with their kitchen. So even though there are some quite, radical colours, greens and blues are quite radical for a kitchen, really. People are still a little bit shy of it, maybe going for a cream, a putty,
still going
or
for ivory, or maybe an accent colour potentially?
Yeah, maybe cooler colours. I'd say ivory and the alabasters are seeming very old-fashioned. So they'll go for a painted cool grey, putty, soft colours. And I'm finding that people aren't wanting a contrast. You used to have a cool bottom and a dark top, or vice versa. There's a lot of sort of calmness going, I think. People will have maybe a grey bottom and then a grey top. So
if you looked at the last 10 kitchens you did, and if you looked at painted kitchens, what will be the number one colour people are going for? No.
A soft grey.
Soft grey?
Yeah, soft grey putty.
Like a dove grey sort of
colour. Like a dove grey, but a warmish grey. It's not cold. But there is a really popular colour, putty, which is... It's neither cool nor warm, it's a neutral colour. I call it a chameleon colour. It's one of my favourite doors, actually, and that sells itself.
The classic statement could be, Erica, I don't know what I want. How do you break that down? What advice can you offer?
The first advice I say, you've got a 50-50. Do you want a shaker kitchen? Do you want a flat slab kitchen? Once you've made that mind up, you're halfway there.
You start with a kitchen door.
I look at the kitchen. As soon as you walk into our showroom, we're very lucky. Our customers walk in and straight away they see a beautiful painted shaker kitchen. A few steps that way and they see a very Germanic flat slab handleless kitchen. So they look at those two elements and go, oh no, don't like that, or I love this sort of style. And nothing's right or wrong. This is another thing I always say to customers. A lot of them say, oh, what's right, what's wrong? And I'll say nothing's right or wrong, it's what you love.
So you're offering alternatives, and they're choosing the alternatives to get to what they want. That's how you do it.
Yes. Straight away, do you like a shaker kitchen? Because the shaker kitchens are still modern. A lot of the younger people, you think they'd be having flat slab and all that sort of thing, but the younger people are coming in and wanting a shaker door, maybe an in-frame door, that kind of thing.
And what percentage of your sales here would be solid surface against laminate worktops?
I'd say about 80%.
80%,
Yeah. Solid surfaces. A lot of people, if they're going to have their dream kitchen, they want a worktop that's going to stand the test of time.
Is it typically granite that you're selling, or is it
quartz primarily?
Dexon or Corian or
just this kind of material, which is quartz.
Yes.
So it's about it's got a quartz material, man-made granite, really.
Oh, everyone's now talking about hygiene. So, is there any advice you can offer in terms of which is the most hygienic?
Quartz is a hygienic. Corian is a very hygienic
Corian,
product, purely because you can have a curved up stand. You haven't got that right angle where
the gaps,
you've got that little 90-degree angle where bacteria can live.
Okay,
and, you know,
so somebody wants to be very, very, very clean in the kitchen, then Corian could be the solution.
Definitely, because you can have your integrated sink where there's no gap, there's nothing for anything.
Yeah, nice,
and they do use that in nurseries and medical situations. So they use Corian and that sort of thing.
Okay. Particularly after a pandemic, people are now thinking about those kind of things.
They are, yeah. I mean, it's right up there. It's one of the highest priced, though. I always say, you know, if you want Corian, this would be the reason to have it. If you don't want these curved up stands and the integrated sink, stick with the quartz. Keep your price down.
Okay. Some people I speak to say that on kitchen design, that when they have, let's say, the classic £900 drawer on the hob and the work surface above, that when one of you's cooking, one of you then can't get into the drawers. Is there a solution around that in a busy family kitchen?
Definitely. You want that pan drawer under there. It's great for your spatulas to stop you having all your clutter on the top. But you need another set of drawers somewhere for your cutlery and all your bits and bobs. And it is all about
so
very
cooking utensils underneath where you're cooking, which is logical, other things elsewhere.
That's it, all of, you know, your garlic crusher, everything under the hob. Another set of drawers, maybe near the kettle or where you make the tea, because you want your teaspoons over there.
That's good advice,
You want to be able to get to the spoons quickly. That's how I do when I design a kitchen. You have to live in that kitchen for that person. You have to imagine. That's why listening to your customer, really importantly. You ask how many children they've got.
Yes.
How do they live in their kitchen?
Advice,
It's not just you're designing a kitchen, you're designing their life, because it's the heart of the home. You really
kitchen for one person, you may just have the classic £900 drawer on top because there's only that person there. But if it's a family of 4 or 5, you may do what you've suggested.
Yeah, you do. If you've got the space. Sometimes it doesn't work, and you do put maybe 2 sets. Sometimes I put 2, and I have a join in the middle. So there is room for somebody to get to the side, because that looks really lovely on a design as well.
So the advice is understand the family, get into the psyche of the family, and then offer solutions.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Definitely. And when you do your design, make sure you've got at least a meter. Okay. So people aren't playing bumpsy daisy. It really is important. And I always think creating space is as important as creating a lovely kitchen. You want to make space for people to move around. It's very important.
Would you agree, Erica, there's a bit of a trend for what we call multi-generational kitchen design, where you design the kitchen today, but actually in 15, 20 years' time, can that person still use that design in the same way? So, for example, we talked about elderly people earlier. Can the taps be, you know, if you have arthritic fingers, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, be modified. And does an elderly person want to sit at a breakfast bar, having a lower seating area rather than tall breakfast bar area?
Yes.
And I do, some families have the elderly parent living with them, so they'll say, I don't want that, I want to lower it because I want grandma to come and sit with us rather than us all sitting high up and she's just perched on the end on a little chair or something. So you have to think about that.
And that's going back to asking those questions. Definitely. It can seem to be a bit intrusive, but they're very important questions, aren't they?
And another thing with kitchens, they are the heart of the home now, and whereas people used to congregate in the lounge to watch telly all together, we don't do that anymore. No. They're all sitting around the kitchen. Maybe they're all plugged into different devices, but they're together. And people really want to be together deep down, even though one's on their, you know, got the kid on the switch, one's on the phone, one's on their pad or something. But so that's another thing, getting your USB points,
the charging
so people
points,
can charge their appliances all over the place.
Yes.
So families all being together in a kitchen, but not really communicating that much because they're all plugged in and everything like that. That's where kitchens are going.
Within your kitchen design project, you'd specify or spec out, you know, sockets with USB ports.
Oh, definitely. A lot of people are now wanting these pop-ups
Yes.
They can charge their phone on them.
Yeah.
They've got speakers.
Oh,
they can
right,
plug things in.
Yeah,
so
good.
that's tech is moving
So
on.
making
People are
the
thinking
kitchen
ahead.
a more social area.
Definitely.
Yeah. So given we've all come through the pandemic and many showrooms when they reopen were continuing with appointment-based customer presentations, what are you now doing here?
We've got our doors open. People
Okay.
can come in as they will.
Okay.
Because of the location, we're on an industrial estate, we don't get many people just popping in because
Right.
they're just on a whim, just want to have a look. So we are lucky that people that come to us normally are serious about looking at kitchens.
Right.
It was good when it was appointment only because
Right.
you could manage your time.
Yes.
But I think there's a slight restriction
Right,
on
okay.
people who maybe, I've got Tuesday off, we want a new kitchen, so maybe we'll go and have a look round.
Yeah.
They don't feel held to an appointment, so it's
Right.
a little bit freer, a little bit
Okay,
easier
it's more relaxed.
for people to come as
Okay.
they want.
The customer comes in and they're expert. They've been on the internet, they've researched what they want, and they think they know more than you do.
Yeah.
And let's say sometimes they don't. How do you manage those type of customers?
Well, I take it on board what they say, write it down and nod and do the work. A lot of people have been on some really wacky websites and found some
Okay.
obscure storage solutions,
Yeah.
things popping out under cupboards, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I haven't really heard of that. It's not something that we supply, but I never just put them down and go,
No.
I'll have a look into that for you. It might not be something I know about.
Yeah.
It might be something brand new that we've never heard of.
Right.
So I just let them know I've listened again and look into it. Or if I think it really is obscure, I will be upfront and say, we don't supply that. I am learning more and more. Try not to say, yeah, I'll have a look, you can have that.
Yeah.
Don't say that, because they'll have
Yeah.
it in their head and then they'll think you've let them down. Just say, I don't know about that. Or
Yeah.
there and then I'll go, I'm going to go and ask Tom, my director.
Yeah.
He might have heard about it, it might be
Yeah.
something so new, because he's got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and go, actually, no, we don't
So
supply
the-
that particular element of
Yeah,
that.
so the advice is not to close people down, to listen to their suggestions,
Yeah, 'cause
but then go back with what you think the best option for them is,
That's
but not saying no in the
Definitely.
first instance. Yeah.
Yeah, don't go, no,
Yeah.
don't do that, because
Right.
that's very negative,
Right.
isn't it? And they come in, they're excited, they're like children in a sweet shop, they're all like, oh, we're having this, having that, and they get a bit carried away. So you just sort of have to gently tell them they can't have something so they don't have a temper tantrum.
Problem. So do we think that given that people have been sat at home looking at their old kitchens and bathrooms, and I think the desire's gone up and up and up, do you think that the order values are going up, or have they remained constant the last 3 years?
I think the order values are going up,
Okay.
but also we're having people coming in for refurbishments. They might have been stuck at home during lockdown and thinking, we can't afford a whole new kitchen, so there's a lot of renovations going on as well. So upgrades, maybe
Yeah.
just a worktop change, a door change.
Okay.
They might love the layout of their kitchen, or something that might be a bit clunky and they've realised, or oven changes. They might have been making their banana bread en masse and think, our oven's rubbish, we've
Yeah.
realised, so we're going to have a new oven.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't say there's a massive change.
Yeah.
But there are more and more people wanting to do a bit of an upgrade.
It's a good mix.
Good mix, yeah.
So in terms of booking ahead, are you guys typically where you should be year on year on number of weeks to wait for a project to be fitted, or are you booking up months and months and months because of the demand of customers?
It has increased just recently.
Yeah.
It's gone up to about 12 weeks at the moment.
Oh, right,
so
yeah.
we're
Because you're so busy.
so busy, just, don't want to let people down, so we're having to book them in 12 weeks in advance.
How is it best to get a customer to buy into waiting for that best kitchen fitter that could be 12 to 15 to 16 weeks ahead?
Well, to be honest, we have to wait that long at the moment for our appliances to be delivered. Everything is... The supply chain, if we said, we can fit it in 6 weeks, they wouldn't have an oven or a hob anyway at the moment. We don't want to let them down, and it's worth waiting for the fitters because that's why we're so good.
Do you think kitchen installers in abundance, or is there a shortage now of good kitchen fitters?
I think there could be a shortage. We're very lucky. We've got our team of fitters that we use, our installers. They're great. It's an industry that's very specialised because firstly they're great carpenters, they're craftsmen in their own right, but then they can lend their hand to other things as well. And I think I don't know if there's a course for kitchen fitting. I don't think there is. And I think there could be a shortage in the future. It could be that, one of our fitters was trained by one of our senior fitters, so that would be an ideal situation to have. I think having your products in your showroom is the most important.
Right.
You can use it on a day-to-day, you can demonstrate it, people buy what they can see.
So your advice also is to demonstrate what you're selling as well.
Definitely,
to show how they actually
One
work.
of the best things that we do for selling appliances, we have a NEF evening, our cookery evening. We have a NEF home economist come to the showroom. We invite our potential customers, past customers, and we have it set out theatre style. And she cooks for 2 hours and she talks through the ovens, gets down to the bare bones on how to cook with a NEF appliance without it being too technological and scary. Because some customers go, oh, it's called bleepy and all that sort of thing. And that sells ovens.
Really good advice.
It is, because people smell the food, they taste the food, they feel cosseted for an evening, and they feel like this company really looks after its customers. Look, they're feeding us, they're giving us wine, we're having a lovely time, we're talking to a lady that knows all about the ovens, we're not scared about choosing that £1,000 oven, which is twice what we normally would buy, pay for an oven, but because she's cooked something really magnificent in there, we might buy that.
We want to buy that.
I can see more and more Zoom meetings happening because everybody's busy these days. I've got a lot of couples who are doctors. Both of them are finding it hard to come into the showroom at the same time. So maybe a Zoom meeting would be good. It's not always my favourite because being a people person, I like to see somebody face to face. But I think that is a big part. Now we've all had this lockdown and the COVID thing. We've had a little practice run. Maybe that stood that in good stead for the future. Zoom meetings, Zoom presentations, they do work.
A Zoom present, not the initial questions and answers.
No, as a presentation.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've walked through a kitchen design with somebody on Zoom and sold it during lockdown.
Right.
But people still really need to come in and feel the product, see the product, see the lovely blum, opening, closing, and all that. People like to see different colour combinations. A little bit nervous. They're spending a lot of money. One thing I say to people, and they're sometimes a bit apologetic, a bit shy. Although you get people that everyone's different, but they might be saying, "Oh, I'm being a bit awkward, aren't I? I don't know what colour to have." And I say, "Don't worry. It's not like buying a loaf of bread at Tesco's. 1 week you don't like it, so you go, I'll have another one. Once you've bought this £25,000 kitchen, you've got to love it because you're spending a lot of money." I always say that to people, so they think, "Oh, okay, then I feel like I'm allowed to make all of these decisions." I think sometimes I might be a bit too much like that. I judge myself now. I can see that you have to be careful that you don't create almost, I don't know if I should say that, a spoiled brat of a person. You're giving them too much of yourself, and then they will take a lot at the same time. So
probably a lot of your time as well, wouldn't
they? They do. So you do have to get the balance right. You really do. Don't be a busy fool, because I've done that before, and you have to be really careful not to do that.
On that selling process, would you condition the customer to say that you have 2 hours together?
Yes, I say, you've got, especially at the moment, we're very busy, because they will, if you've got the time, you'll give it them. But, if you say, well, I've got another appointment in an hour, we need to draw this. 2 hours is a long time, but some people can be quite demanding.
Yes. So in the interests of offering some smart advice, so can you relay an amusing story that we could all learn from?
I take my kitchen design very seriously. There's not many, I'm just trying to think of something funny. It's mainly, I'll tell you what I do get, a lot of couples come in and they can't see eye to eye.
Oh, right, okay.
Have a little bit of an argument when they're here.
Yeah.
So I do have to sort of tread carefully and sort of step back, let them get on with it. Sometimes I have said as a joke, I design kitchens, I'm not a relate counsellor or something like that. And then after sales, you will get really bizarre things happen. Like somebody rang up this week, how do I cook my pork chop? Another one, I'm trying to defrost my fridge freezer, but my milk's going to go off because I'm only defrosting the freezer bit. What do I do? It's really hard to...
So you become a counsellor almost in some respects.
And it's trying not to get cross. you get all of these.
I guess that how you deal with people means that later on they may buy from you an upgrade or change in the future and come back for a second project.
They do, yeah. We have that happen a lot, or they recommend us to family members. Recommendation is probably one of our highest ways of creating work. We have a lot of recommendation, and I think it's purely because obviously the product, good design, but we look after our customers. They do feel like we give them a design and they change it a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 times. They feel like they're allowed to do that, whereas I don't know about other places, maybe they feel more comfortable doing that. It's all about making somebody feel comfortable.
If somebody was to come and ask him for a replacement washer, you would treat that customer with the same, I guess, professionalism as you would a full kitchen.
If they had their kitchen from us, I'll say, I'll do my best to find that extra part for you. If it's just somebody walking, I'll go, we don't stock that.
Or you may decide to help them. They may buy a kitchen.
They might do, but we don't stock washers, and you could spend half a day getting the right washer.
Running around doing that,
It's really getting the balance right. But I do try, and there's another thing I do. Somebody might have a £15,000 budget. Somebody might have a £50,000 budget. But that's their limit, and that's their limit. So I do try and treat everybody the same. Their money is as precious whether they're spending 50. I know you're going to get a higher commission. You're going to get, but I just try and treat everybody the same.
Brilliant.
Try and treat everybody like I would expect to be treated myself.
Erica, that's an amazing conversation, and I can see why customers buy kitchen off of you. So thank you ever so much for today, and I'm sure that everybody listening and watching will take something from that conversation. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for watching the latest edition of Movers and Shakers with Erica Brain, and I most certainly will buy a kitchen from her. If you'd like to receive future notifications of our new films, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell icon and you will get notifications. And of course, we'd love to hear your comments, so please leave your comments below, and we look forward to offering more industry-specific, good information back to the industry very shortly.